with reactions to Vince McMahon's appearance on Raw and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for June 22nd. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Talking to Chris Van Vliet about his prospects as a pro wrestler, former UFC fighter and NFL star Greg Hardy said, "Somebody hit me up, AEW, WWE hit me up, I'm down. I'll get in the gym right now. I'll show up with the Monday Night Muscles and jump off the side of the rope on anybody. I'll come out with one of those Rey Mysterio type masks. I'm going to grab a design artist too. You have to have showmanship, or like Goldust, something crazy. It has to be entertainment level stuff. You can't just come out with tights on and have a six-pack unless you're Brock Lesnar or The Rock. I'm an old school fan. I would love to get in there. I'm waiting for the call. If you know somebody that is watching this right now, hit me up and let's get to work." On his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T talked about Adam Cole having to take time off due to injury, where he said he doesn't need to lose size and should gain some muscle. This caused many in the wrestling world to call him out for body shaming. On the MacMania podcast, Eddie Kingston gave his thoughts on Booker T's comments and others similar about Cole. If you don't like it, don't watch. If you want to rip on someone or knock on somebody, okay man, I feel bad for you, because that's what gets your rocks off. You're an evil, disgusting human being. That's all it is, and I hope you never have somebody rip on you like that. When it comes to Adam Cole, none of y'all are as athletic as him, for people that are saying that. Also, y'all are jealous. My man's living the good life. None of them would ever step in the ring. Not to fight. I mean, just even run the ropes. You know what I mean? Or even just step in there and they're like, well, that's not my job. Well, my man, you don't see me bothering you at your job, you know what I mean? Telling you how to clean the floor. Talking to NBC Sports about her time in WWE as Ember Moon, AEW star Athena said, "Over the course of like 6-7 years with WWE, it became work. When I left, it was like I got to sit at home for 3 months and just kind of figure out what I wanted to do, and I didn't necessarily know if I wanted to wrestle again. It was just like, okay, because I was afraid that I would go like, and it would feel like work. And so like on some level, yeah, I felt like the passion was sucked out." Athena would also discuss the differences between Tony Khan and Vince McMahon. "Tony is extremely busy, but my interactions with him have been insanely different than that of the former boss, because he's just excited. He's pumped. He wants to get everyone pumped up as he is. It's the first time I think I had a show. He's just going up to every match like, let's go, let's get this. I've never had that, and it's just energy on cloud 9 every step of the way. Sometimes the couple of days I've been there, we're there for like 14 hours and his energy doesn't drop. He's so motivating. He's so pumped about everything that's on the TV product, which I'm not used to on any level. Normally it's like, all right, go out there, blah blah blah, cool, you know what you're doing." And then on the other end, you're getting Tony like, "You pumped for this? You ready to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." I don't know how to explain it. He's so high energy and so positive that you just want to feed off that aura. I'm like, I want that caffeine level that you're at, but I'm afraid I might have a heart attack. For 14 hours, there's not a drop. Not a drop. And he's extremely appreciative that everyone is there. I don't know how to explain it, but so far I'm just like amazed. Like, people watch Tony all day long because you want to go so much harder for him out in the ring and stuff. You're like, yeah, he's pumped. He loves it. Yeah. While Jay Lethal was set to appear on Ric Flair's podcast, that did not end up happening as Conrad Thompson said, "We had a plan today. We promoted it and all that jazz. We were going to have Jay Lethal on and we couldn't really do what we've been doing here without Jay Lethal." Because when you were first thinking about, hey, can I do this? Should I do this? You started working out Jay, and man, those videos went viral. And I thought you guys have had some fun together, you know, and maybe show some of those old clips, the woo-offs, and all that stuff from Impact. But no Jay today. What's up with that? The Nature Boy responded, "Is he going to hear this? If I say it, I don't care. He's got an attitude. He wants to be part of the show. I said it ain't gonna happen. You know how that happens all of a sudden and everybody's feelings are hurt, you know? That is what we discussed. Some feelings are gonna be hurt. I'm not saying anything bad. I don't have the authority. Even though I am a co-owner of this venture, I don't have the authority to put him on the card. So I think he's upset about that, but he'll get over it. They can block this out, but you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And that's kind of where we're at with the steal. Edit that, please." On Jeff Jarrett's podcast, Conrad Thompson gave fans a preview of what's to come at Starrcast 2022. The press conference will be this Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. We have the mayor of Nashville, Mr. Crockett, and Mr. Jarrett will be there. Mr. Flair will be there, of course. We have the voice of the Tennessee Titans joining us. Plus, we'll save some great charities on hand. We're announcing some really cool stuff. We've just added another superstar to the Starrcast lineup, and it's a panel and a meet and greet. I'm not giving the spoiler here, but just follow us online at Starrcast.com. We're doing something different that we haven't done for any Starrcast in the past. We are accepting mail-ins, so if you can't for whatever reason make it to Nashville, you can still get your stuff signed. I've been talked into this for the very first time. It's never been possible before. I want you to be in Nashville because wrestling history will be made. I don't know if you saw this past weekend, but Nick Wayne tore it down with Will Ospreay, who a lot of people think is the best wrestler in the world. That happened at GCW. They're bringing Psycho Clown, John Moxley, Bandito, and a whole bunch of others all to Nashville during Starrcast on Friday night. But before that, Nick Wayne is going to have one of the biggest tests he's ever had. The success of Nick Wayne has just blown everybody away. That's happening the same day as the roast of Ric Flair on Friday, July 29th. This is the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest non-WWE, non-AEW event of the year. I think outside of WWE and AEW, this is it. When you see what we have planned for the full match card, because this show is not that you see Ric Flair wrestle and then you get in your car and you leave. You're going to see a whole action-packed pay-per-view. You're going to get your money's worth. When people start seeing the different companies that are sending people representatives that are represented at some of these matches, multiple for the first ever level dream matches with titles on the line with real implications, and it's all happening at Municipal Auditorium. In an update on his skin cancer treatment, AEW commentator Jim Ross posted a picture to Twitter writing, "Believe it or not, my radiation burns are improving, even though it doesn't look like it. My doctor says healing may take a year. Ugh." WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan also posted an update on his cancer battle with a video on Facebook.
Hey folks, I was just in there brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed, feeling sorry for myself. You know, it wasn't that long ago I had kidney cancer. I lost a kidney. And then just 3 years ago, I had all the heart problems where I was in the ICU unit, ended up having an ablation. Then I had 2 other incidents where I was in the ICU unit. And then I get diagnosed with prostate cancer. They take out my prostate, and I still have to have radiation because the cancer's still in me. So I'm sitting there feeling a little sorry for myself. But then I look in the mirror, and the man in the mirror is looking back hard at me. And it's, "Duggan, pull your head out, stand up straight, and God bless that you only have 6 more weeks of radiation. God bless that you only have 6 more weeks of radiation. Look around. Look around. You got a lot better than a lot of other people, God bless. So Hacksaw, pull your head out, and I'm going to do it. And folks, make sure you get your physicals. Save your life."
AEW star Buddy Matthews revealed that despite continuing to wrestle, he is doing so injured. He wrote on Instagram, "Always a work in progress. Dealing with a shoulder injury which limits a lot of my shoulder movements, but slowly increasing the weight again. Be better than you were yesterday." Speaking about the feud that took place between MJF and CM Punk, Freddie Prinze Jr. praised the company for putting on a great angle. "I do give AEW credit for the best wrestling story in over a decade with the MJF and CM Punk storyline," which, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure someone edited it together on YouTube. If not, AEW themselves and their social media and YouTube group, they cut together some pretty awesome stuff. As Vince McMahon made an appearance on SmackDown and again on Raw this week, after news of the investigation into the scandal and allegations against him, those backstage in WWE are apparently confused by the former chairman and CEO's actions, as PW Insider reported. There's been a lot of head shaking and Vince McMahon putting himself back on TV in what some have seen as an act of denial towards anyone questioning him and whether that will come back to bite him. Some have wondered if this will be the beginning of the end for him, but that seems to be a minority based on what we have heard. There's been more talk about whether larger checks and balances will be put into practice in the company company, and if so, how could anyone enforce them on Vince? It would also be noted that there is a lot of silence among employees as they are all waiting to see how bad this situation can get. There's been a real concern among some to keep their heads down and not get caught up in the mess, especially since they don't know what executives will end up with larger amounts of power when the dust settles. Reacting to his appearance on Raw, Vince Russo would say this on his show: "I've got to say this, and I know we have to be careful, and I'm going to be very careful. I'm not going to piss anybody off. I'm going to be very, very careful, but I understood that we could only talk about the facts. This is all I'm asking, seriously. Is he trying to get the John Cena rub? Like, that was the only thing I took away from this. Is he actually trying to get a rub off of John Cena? That was the only thing I took away from it." Former WWE star Ryback had this to say about McMahon's Raw appearance: "Look at the amount of changes that have taken place with the first week with WWE. An innocent company doesn't make moves like this, and there are going to be more with what they will uncover. Vince McMahon is paranoid, nervous on TV, and wobbly legs are more than being old." With Stephanie McMahon named the interim chairwoman and CEO of WWE, PW Insider reported the primary thing we've heard is a lot of sympathy for Stephanie McMahon since she has been all but forced back to work despite wanting to distance herself from the company and take a deep breath for herself. Quite a few have noted to me that they have marveled about how strong Stephanie has been despite what was described as her mother being disrespected publicly by the situation, especially since there's obviously been multiple NDAs involving multiple people beyond the relationship being investigated by the WWE Board of Directors. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.